All right. Well, hi there, Dan. Thanks for taking the time to meet with me today. So just to start off, could you tell us a little bit about your gym, like who you typically facilitate and where you're located?
Sure. So Miracles Fitness, like it says here on my shirt, we're in West Lafayette, Indiana, which is about an hour from Indianapolis, right where Purdue University is located. We specialize in training boomers and seniors. So our average age client is about 62 years old. So this was a little younger than what we're used to, but that's fine. We need to get a few more people in here in their 30s and 40s. So we have about 230, 35 personal training clients. Again, like I said, their average age is about 60. So we do small group personal training and one-on-one. We don't do any boot camp or large group stuff. So we've been open now 11 years. And so this was just kind of a new marketing twist I wanted to learn, and been pleased with it overall.
Yeah, that's awesome. I don't think there's many gyms out there that specialize in the senior age.
No, there's not. No, we're kind of unique in that.
Yeah. So with that said, was there any hesitancies with signing up with Maverick because you typically service the older clientele? Don't do boot camp?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that would be the only hesitancy is that, we primarily focus on the baby boomer female, right? So we're looking at women 55 to 72. So we knew this was going to be a little bit different twist, but I was curious to see how it would work. I was also curious to see if we could get more women in their 40s and 50s, because lately we've been getting a lot of women in their 60s and 70s, which is good, but it means we've got a lot of openings from 4 to 8 in the evening, right? So like we're packed from 8 to noon, but we're not packed from 4 to 8, so but I also just kind of want to learn the system, the whole $4.99 challenge deposit, all that sort of thing has intrigued me for a while, and I was sort of curious to just see that in action. So, and once you guys were willing to, once I realized you're willing to be somewhat flexible on the ads and the ad copy, I was like, hey, if we can use some of our female clients in their 50s as some of the models, like I can't do the whole, 6-pack ab thing, because we're known for being sort of the opposite of that. And so I was just like, as long as we don't, totally ruin our normal reputation, then this will work well. So.
Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, if you're trying to pull an older crowd and we have images of women who are like in their 20s with abs, it's not really.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like I'm fine attracting women in their 30s and 40s. They seem to like working out at our place. But I don't want to put images up of like, sexy 6-pack abs, that sort of stuff, and like sports bras, because then when people come here, they're like, wait a minute, most of these people are in their 50s and 60s and they don't look like that at all. It's like, no, they don't, so that's key to us. Like we talk a lot about, I mean, we even joke about the fact that, people wear clothes in our gym and everyone's more comfortable, so, and the women in their 50s and 60s get that right away, right? Because they're like, well, I don't want to be working out next to somebody who's half naked, so.
Yeah, definitely. And then before you started working with us, did you have a hard time getting new leads or marketing at all? Or is that something you're proficient in?
I would say yes and no. So sometimes we do really well getting, I mean, anybody could always have more leads, but there are seasons of the year where it seems like it's easy to get leads, and then there are seasons where it seems like we struggle to get leads. And we've not been very proficient at getting leads in women 30 to 50. I would say we're pretty proficient at getting leads from women 60 plus. And so this was sort of a new angle for us to try to fill in some gaps with some younger women, and just always be learning new strategies for Facebook, in my opinion, is always a good thing.
Yeah, definitely. And so you had mentioned, I think before you started with us, you had 250 members?
Right at about 230. That number is always moving, but I think last report I heard we're right at 230.
Okay. And then after working with Maverick and running that program, what were the results for you?
So I believe we had 25 or 26 actually sign up for the program, do the $4.99 deposit. Oddly enough, I know we had at least 2 people sign up and become members. They didn't do the 6-week. In fact, I remember one person, she could not afford to do the $4.99 deposit, just couldn't afford it, right? She was almost like heartbroken. And then 2 weeks later, she came back and signed up for one of our regular personal training programs, which is like $250 a month. It was just sort of weird, but but it happens, right? I mean, you really want something, then you figure out how you can afford it. So, little trick, which your listeners might like, we changed our price sheet from $249 a month for 3 times a week group training and $199 a month to bi-weekly. So instead of $199 every month, it's now $99 every 2 weeks, which is actually more expensive, but it doesn't feel more expensive, right? And then $249 a month went to $129 every 2 weeks. And so she couldn't afford $4.99, but she could afford $129 every 2 weeks, which I was like, that's actually more expensive, but whatever. So we signed up 2 new clients that didn't even do the challenge. Just the challenge didn't appeal to them or fit them or whatever, right? They're like, oh, I need to do something long term. And then so far we've upgraded 2 to long-term agreements, and we have about another 22 that will be finishing here in the next week or 2 weeks. And I think, based on what we're hearing, I think most of them are going to upgrade to a 7-month program.
Awesome. Yeah, that's super exciting. And so then if you could like fill in this blank saying like the Maverick program has changed this like blank for me, like giving me more time or more security or knowing that, what was that blank?
Yeah, I would say probably 2 things. One, it gave us more consistent inflow of potential clients, right? So people coming in, meeting with me, 10 to 12 people a week consistently that, were interested in signing up. And most of them signed up for the 6-week, but a couple, oddly enough, didn't, and they signed up for long-term programs, which is even better, so. And then the other is just filling a lot of our small group training times with new energy, more excitement, enthusiasm, right? So instead of having 4 people in a session, we got 6. And so, and I think that helps. It kind of boosts morale around here in general. Like my trainers are like, yeah, all of our sessions are full and we got new people in them. And, so it's just it's a nice boost to have 25 new people come in, in a short span of about 3-4 weeks.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Well, that's all the questions I have for you. So thanks for taking the time to meet with me.
Yeah, sure.